Thanks for joining us for another Replays guest series. Joining me today is Josh Cordero, who is the head of sales for Vitralogy. And Josh is going to share with us a tip about acknowledgement statements. What do you got for us today, Josh?
I think acknowledgement statements are one of the most powerful things that we can do in the conversations that we have, whether it's with a prospect or even with a client if you're in customer success. Because in today's world, a lot of us are saying things, but we're not always feeling like we're being heard. And even when the other person is attempting to acknowledge what we say, a lot of times it kind of comes off really, it's kind of self-centered, you know? It's a lot of, oh, I hear you, I got it, I understand, right? And so you don't always, when you hear those, think the person really does. Because a lot of times when somebody says, I understand, there's usually a but after it, right? I understand what you're saying, Asia, but, so you think, well, did you really understand what I said? So I think acknowledgement statements can be so powerful, especially when you begin with things like it seems, or it sounds, or it feels like. So you focus on their perspective, what they were expressing to you, especially like the emotion, the feeling that they were expressing. And I also think they're really powerful when you make them very human, very colloquial, right? So kind of drop any of that pretense. I'll give you a good example, Asia. Like for instance, a lot of times, especially this time of year, you're going to hear people say things about how it's a very busy time of year and they have a lot of things on their plate and they really don't have time to talk to you. And using an acknowledgement statement that says something like, you know, Asia, it sounds like the last thing you want to do is talk to a sales guy about some new sales tool that he wants to shove down your throat. Right then and there, they're thinking to themselves, they understand exactly what I was trying to tell them, right? And they're much, much more likely to open up and engage in a conversation with you. And it doesn't have to be an objection either. It could be something positive that somebody's telling you, right? They might have seen your solution, or they might be a customer using your solution, and they might be giving you some positive feedback. I really appreciate how simple this is to use. It's so much easier for my team to use this in the last solution. And again, using a simple acknowledgement statement like, so it sounds like one of the things that you feel we've really delivered on is ease of use, and that's really core to your user experience. Again, knowing that you're listening to me, that you understand what I'm trying to express to you, encourages me to open up, because we all love to talk, but we all really like to be listened to.
I love that. I really do. And I think that the powerful piece of it to me, the piece that really resonated to me, was kind of bringing yourself to the call, that it's okay to be, to speak in colloquialism sometimes, it's okay to be yourself. And so the person that you're talking to doesn't think that, you know, they're talking to a sales robot. And yeah, I love that. Well, Josh, that was a great tip. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Asia. I really appreciate it.